There's a tiny town in southern Georgia you've probably never heard of. Just 0.8 square miles. Fewer than 200 people live there today. It's called Surrency. It was officially incorporated in 1911 and named after a pioneer citizen, Allen Powell Surrency. Peaceful, small, quiet. But 50 years before it became a town, Surrency was the center of one of the most terrifying ghost stories in American history. And in 1905, a photograph may have captured proof of the very thing that drove an entire community away. In the early 1870s, Allen Surrency was one of the most respected men in the region. He was a successful businessman. He served as a magistrate, and he lived with his family in a large southern mansion surrounded by pine trees. One day, without warning, the house turned strange. It began with footsteps, dragging sounds overhead. Then objects started moving. Rocks, hot, fresh from the earth, fell in the parlor with no visible source. Crockery flew from shelves and shattered in midair. A Bible launched itself across the room. The clock struck 13. Shoes were thrown across the hallway. Beds were stripped. Trunks were emptied. Fires started without matches. And somehow, no one was ever seriously hurt. News spread fast. Surrency became a magnet for reporters, skeptics, scientists, and spiritualists. People traveled from across the country to see it for themselves. Many arrived laughing. Almost none left that way. They saw dishes levitate. Tools from the blacksmith shop vanish and reappear in the house. Heavy doors slammed without wind. Visitors were pelted with invisible rocks. Fire erupted in sealed rooms. Even the family had to flee the house temporarily. After nearly a year of this, they gave up. They left. And for a long time, the house stood empty. More than 30 years later, in 1905, a journalist from Nashville traveled to the ruins of the Surrency homestead. She brought a brand new camera, fresh film, and several witnesses. She took multiple pictures of the house. Only one came back strange. That single photo showed the floating heads of two women above the front porch. The faint faces of children, animals, even owls fading in and out of the shadows. Some were in the trees. Some were in the grass. None appeared in any other shot. Experts examined the image. A retired master photographer said, "I cannot explain it." An artist who had trained in Paris said, "The camera sometimes reveals what we cannot see." A news editor said, "It puzzles, it baffles. I've never seen anything like it." No tricks, no tampering, no known explanation. Today, the town of Surrency still exists. Just under 200 people live there, but they live in a place that once saw something unexplainable. A documented, photographed, and publicly investigated haunting.
About 140 miles west of Surrency is Preston, Georgia. It's a small community nestled in the farmland of Webster County, about 17 miles west of Americus. As of the year 2000, the population was just 453. It was founded in 1856 and became the county seat a year later. For more than a century, Preston functioned as an incorporated municipality until 2009, when it was disincorporated and folded into the unified government of Webster County. Quiet, rural, historic. Preston is the kind of place where people know your name, and not much changes. But for more than 20 years, something strange appeared here. Something no one could explain. A glowing orb, seen by dozens, described as a ball of light, about the size of a grapefruit, sometimes hovering, sometimes darting, always just out of reach. And for 2 full decades, it lured people into the woods. The earliest known witness was a man named R.C. Harris. Around 1912, he was staying at the farm of W.F. Tracy just outside town. One evening, he spotted the strange light floating over a field. It moved like no lantern he'd ever seen. There was no flicker, no wobble, and no one holding it. Curious, and maybe a little unnerved, he saddled his horse and followed it. But no matter how fast he rode, the orb remained exactly the same distance ahead. He chased it to the edge of the woods, but when he arrived, it had disappeared. No tracks, no smell of smoke, not even a warm spot in the ground. He was convinced it was real, and he wasn't alone. In the years that followed, more and more people in Webster County began seeing the light. It was often reported near the same farm, and sometimes on consecutive nights. The sightings followed no weather pattern, no seasonal trend. It simply appeared. Some nights it stayed still. Other nights, it traveled low to the ground or lifted silently into the trees. Skeptics came, and many left convinced. One of them was a college student named Annie Mae Goss. She had heard the stories, but assumed it was nothing more than local folklore. In August of 1931, she visited the Tracy farm with her mother and brother. They sat outside for nearly 2 hours. Then, just before 10 p.m., it appeared. Roughly 150 yards away, in the middle of the field, hovered a glowing ball of light. It stayed still for a few moments, then rose in a gentle arc and disappeared above the treetops. Annie Mae later said, "That sounds strange, I know, but watching the thing is still stranger." People began noticing a pattern. The orb often traveled across the same patch of land, a stretch of field where nothing grew. Locals called it lightning-struck ground. They believed the soil had been burned by lightning years earlier and never recovered. Even though the surrounding land was fertile, this one area remained dry and barren, and that's where the light always passed. Theories began to circulate. Some suggested the orb was a rare form of ball lightning. Others believed it was a will-o'-the-wisp, gases rising from decaying organic matter. But not everyone turned to science. Many in Webster County believed the light was something else entirely. A sign, a spirit, maybe even a warning. Some feared it. Others felt drawn to it. And a few preachers even gave sermons, quoting scripture to explain what they believed was a supernatural occurrence. The light was never caught. It was never recorded or photographed. But it returned again and again for more than 20 years. No official investigation was ever conducted. No explanation was ever found. And eventually, as the years passed, the sightings faded into memory. Today, Preston, Georgia, is just another quiet place on the map. But some say the light still appears from time to time. A brief flicker across a distant field, a soft glow over the trees, and if you ever see it, don't follow it.
The truth is out there, and it begins with you. Welcome to the Cosmic Fold, where we talk high strangeness. Call us at 928-288-2942. That's 928-288-2942. Or join us by video. If you're at a computer, just look for the link in the chat. Buckle up, sit around our virtual campfire, and let's get started.
Hey!
Can you hear?
Can you hear me?
Oh my!
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Al.
This has been the most discombobulated start. That's why we have these videos in the beginning. Al's sound wasn't working. Brighton got here late. And so I'm trying to set him up and running around the block to do so. And I had to just stop. But he's texting me. Bove's texting me because links don't work. And it's like I had like 20 texts all at the same time. Plus I'm trying to talk to Al. So happy Saturday.
Oh my gosh. That's just fine. It's all good. All fine.
It's the cosmic fold.
It's all strangeness.
Jeez, man. Now, I tell you what, man. I have to go here and take that little thing out of my name right there. I had a little apostrophe. I don't know what that came from. Yeah, I transitioned from 10, 12 years of every piece of tech that I owned was an Apple product. I still got my Mac Mini back there, which is what I had been using since we started the podcast, right? But it came time to upgrade my phones, and I just could not bring myself to spend $1,500 on another iPhone. So So I got this Google Pixel 9 XL Pro thing. It's a great phone.
It's supposed to be. I've heard good things.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get
excellent.
I'm trying to get used to Android and Windows again. And this is stupid because I spent so many years of my life as a certified Windows systems, a Microsoft certified systems engineer. I used to know Windows. I mean, I could build a Windows PC and program it with my eyes closed. Then I went over to Apple because they got a job at an organization that everything was on the Mac. It was publishers and all that other stuff. And, you know, Windows and Android and Mac and iPhone don't really talk to each other too well. So I switched everything over. And I'm trying to get used to this again. And I can't get my damn printers working right.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
Did Mercury just go into retrograde?
Oh, gosh.
I think it did, actually.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I got everything working, though. One of my printers is working, which is good. It's the one that I have,
Nice.
HP Instant Ink and paper and all that. So that one's working. I got my mic working. I still have, like I said, the Mac over there because there's just some stuff I cannot. It won't load on the Windows. It's Apple only.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have like $500 worth of publishing software, and audio and video editing software that only works on a Mac. So I'll keep that guy around for a while, but I'm on a PC. And I have no Coke, and there may or may not be Jim Beam in there.
Oh my gosh. Well, so how's your speaking voice, my good friend Al?
Oh, I'm doing fine, speaking wise.
All right.
Doing great.
And it's so good. It's so good to have Bove here on a Saturday.
I know. When we missed you and your cat ears. I love those cat ears. And the cat eyeglass. It reminds me of my van. I have a Chevy van. They call it a cat eye van because the headlights are shaped like cat eyes.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
narrow.
Cool.
Yeah, and I got that van sitting out there that got a bad transmission, but we won't even go into that. But yeah, so I love those. My daughter has just a headband she puts on with cat ears on. She goes out like that. And I think, yeah, man, you do you, man. Let your freak flag.
She had us laughing so hard. She joined us Wednesday night. I thought I would die. Oh, we laughed so hard. It was so funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here is our first slide presentation.
The Cosmic Fold, History of Georgia, from founders and film sets to fine furniture and other things that Al may throw in.
That's right.
Because I live in Atlanta.
That's right.
All right, let's see what we got here. All right. Founding in colonial roots. Well, the colony of Georgia was established in 1732 as the last of the original 13 colonies. It was named after King George II of Great Britain. Its founder, James Oglethorpe, envisioned it as a refuge for English debtors and the poor. Nothing's changed. As well as the buffer state against Spanish Florida. Well, unlike other colonies, all early Georgia initially banned slavery. Large land holdings, rum, just a bunch of stuff. But of course, those rules were overturned, and here we are today. Georgia officially became a U.S. state on January 2nd, 1788, making it the fourth to ratify the U.S. Constitution. And if you're watching on YouTube, the image above is from the 1891 King's Handbook of the United States, planned and edited by M. King, original, held, and digitized by the British Library. There you go, Georgia.
I always learn something new from these things, I tell you.
I know, right?
They are interesting tidbits. They really are.
They are. I just assumed that they were always pro-slavery. I didn't realize that they started out against it.
And a lot of Georgia is still pro-slavery, but we won't talk about it.
No.
As of the 2020 census, Georgia's population was approximately 10.7 million. And out of that 10.7 million, almost 7 million live in the Atlanta metro area. You go a half hour or so outside of Atlanta, you are in the country. You're driving up hollers, going up into Appalachia, down towards Savannah. The state is pretty empty. Anyway, it's the eighth most populous state in the country. The state covers just about 60,000 square miles, ranking at 24th in total area, and the geography is diverse. ranging from the Blue Ridge Mountains in the north, that's Appalachia, to the Atlantic coastal plains in the south. I'm not a big fan of the coastal plains. It smells, it's expensive, and it's run down. The mountains, however, well, there are parts of Savannah that are gorgeous, but you know, there's parts of Atlanta that you can't buy a house for less than like $10 million. Wow. But the mountains up there, I love when I get a load going up into the mountains. It's just, it's not even work, you know. I mean, it's just beautiful. The capital of Atlanta sits near the geographic center of the state's population and has grown into the one of the southeast largest metro areas. And I will point out that the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport is the busiest airport in the world.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The busiest airport in the world, and I can hear it from here.
I thought it was Chicago O'Hare.
No, Hartsfield-Jackson.
Wow.
We're echoing somewhere. I'm not sure.
And they're expanding it. So
okay.
You know. All right, there you go. I told you I was going to add little tidbits in here because I've been living there.
Yes, because you live there.
Agriculture, industry, and film. Historically, Georgia's economy was rooted in cotton and slave labor, but it has since diversified extensively. One would hope so. Today, Georgia is a national leader in peanut and chicken production. We got a lot of chickens here. And also a major player in automotive manufacturing. An hour and a half from here is one of the biggest auto manufacturing plants in the country. It's the Hyundai Kia plant, and it's in West Point, and it's just damn huge, just millions of square feet. But anyway, today Georgia's a national leader, major player in automotive, logistics, and technology. In recent years, Georgia's become a global film production hub, earning it the nickname Yollywood. Yollywood.
Y'all come film here.
Yeah,
All right. We've got Brighton here.
If I had a strong enough arm, I could throw a rock onto Tyler Perry Studios. It's like two or three exits down from me. Yeah, and that thing is massive. The Georgia Film Office reports. We got
Elle. Say hello to Brighton. He's our sound guy. He probably can't hear you yet, but just say hi. He's been having fun hooking up.
The Georgia Film Office reports that more top-grossing films are made in Georgia than in California or New York. For examples, yes, Avengers Endgame. It was filmed at the Pinewood Atlanta Studios, which again is, I don't know, maybe an hour from here in Fayetteville. I was just in Fayetteville today for dropped my wife off at my daughter's baby shower. Yeah. Yeah, and you go there, you go right past Rick Ross's mansion, the Promised Land, which is just, you got to Google an image search on the Promised Land, Rick Ross. It used to be Evander Holyfield's house, and I don't know how big it is, but it just goes on forever and ever. And every year he has an awesome car show, which pisses off all the neighbors because it's basically a 2-lane road. Anyway, but I digress. Over $2.79 billion worldwide, one of the highest grossing films of all time. Yeah, absolutely. Much of the movie's iconic scenes, including the Avengers campground, was shot right here in good old Georgia. Black Panther, filming location, Atlanta and Bussy Woods in Georgia. Bussy Woods is cool. Box office, $1.34 billion. It was a cultural phenomenon and a major success for Marvel, with the key scenes filmed in downtown Atlanta and sound stages in the area. And, you know, it's not uncommon, and I'm downtown a lot. It's not uncommon to have streets. You see streets closed off and film crews.
Cool.
You know, with all the gantries and just everything there. He has a lot of stuff going on.
It's been a while since I've been there. It's been quite a while.
Yeah. It's changed since, you know, we lived here, you know, 2012, I think we moved here. We left for a little while to go to Republic of Panama, but a lot's changed even in 10 years. Civil rights and controversy. Well, Georgia played a pivotal role in the civil rights movement. The city of Atlanta was home to Dr. Martin Luther King, who was the preacher at Ebenezer Baptist Church. Our Senator Ralph Warnock is now currently the preacher at Ebenezer Baptist Church.
He is such an eloquent speaker.
He is. I've met him twice at events. and he was very pleasant. I guess maybe he might have just been doing that to just to be a celebrity and all, but he seemed very genuine anyway. Oh, it's Kim.
Steve, thanks for joining, or Kim, yes,
That's
thanks
Kim,
for joining us.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
love
yeah.
the
Fulton
coastal
County.
area.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, we're going to be, Dane and I are going to be, when we go visit Kim, we're going to spend some time downtown in Dallas and getting you some B-roll there, Deb.
Very good. Excellent.
Dallas is a beautiful downtown. It's like when you envision a downtown, an old South downtown, with the buildings with the pillars and all that, antebellum stuff. That's Dallas. It's just architecturally, it's gorgeous. Anyway, several major protests and organizing efforts were headquartered there. Georgia has also been the site of historic racial violence. 1915 lynching of Leo Frank and the 1946 Morris Ford lynching. Obviously, any southern state's going to have a dark past. Its political identity we kind of straddle the line here because Atlanta is blue. Atlanta has been solid blue as long as anyone can remember. Everywhere else is red.
Yeah,
everywhere else is red, and it's been a constant battle between the two parties here of trying to suppress the voting rights of the other party. It's going on with both sides. But anyway, its political identity. It's just there's just a lot of it's very, very confusing down here sometimes because you'll drive through neighborhoods and you won't see one Trump sign. You'll see all like Kamala Harris and all that, and then you go 6 blocks away and the whole town is red. It's just weird. But anyway, in addition to Dr. King, Georgia has birthed or raised a host of influential figures. President Jimmy Carter, born in Plains, Georgia, which isn't that far from here. Obviously, the state's most famous political son. Ray Charles was born here. Otis Redding, Little Richard. Little Richard was from Macon. I've driven by his old house. I used to go to Macon once a week. More recently, actor Donald Glover, rapper Lil Nas X, and filmmaker Tyler Perry have put Georgia's cultural scene. Oh, there were so many movies made here. I mean, there's so many. Sweet Home Alabama was made here in Georgia.
Great. That's one of my all-time favorite movies.
It's just a really good place if you are. Look, you don't have to go to Hollywood to try to get into a movie.
And my extent of culturalism, I'm sitting here thinking about Billy Bear. I remember that.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh.
And there's a famous writer named Al. No, I'm just kidding. Oddities. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is sad. This is very, very sad. I've seen this hundreds of times. The Georgia Guidestones in Elbert County. And see multiple languages, guiding principles, the American Stonehenge. A few years ago, someone just blew them up. Some idiot dynamited them with 3-4 sticks of dynamite. Man, it was just such a cool thing, and it had a couple of controversial things in it, but these were from different eras and different epochs. And
well, I've got the list in the next slide, the list of what was in there in English because it's in 3. But the thing is, it's like, I read it. It doesn't seem all that controversial to me, but
no, it's not.
I guess some did about thinking there was eugenics in it or something.
Yeah,
and there were all these conspiracy theories. Yeah. I think that's who blew it up.
Yeah, and these are the same people who want to keep all the Confederate shit up. But whatever, that's a whole other show. But anyway, the small town of Surrency, a well-documented poltergeist outbreak in the 1870s involved flying furniture and ghostly voices. It was even covered in national newspapers. I've been through there, just driving through. I didn't stop or nothing. It just looks like a regular old town.
Yeah, that was in the beginning video. It's a fascinating story.
Yeah, it is. Thing. But that Georgia Guidestones, man. When I heard that, I was like, man, we're doomed. Here's Here a summary of the 10 messages engraved on the Guidestones. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. That was the most controversial message, but you have to understand when that point was written, it was taken off of like the Code of Hammurabi or something way back when. 500 million people, it was unfathomable to have that many people on the planet. There were maybe like 30 or 40 million people on the whole Earth. So that would be, you can replace that number with 500 trillion or 500 billion or whatever, and it would have the same impact. So you have to look at the context of things.
Exactly.
Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Advocated controlled breeding, which critics compare to eugenics. Well, yeah, I guess that can be, that could be, I guess, interpreted that way. Improving fitness.
How I see it is
and diversity.
The way I read it was kind of like, I mean, look at people that just run around and have kids, and
be responsible.
Just be responsible with who you're going to have.
Don't sit your kid in front of the TV with a box of Oreos and Pop-Tarts and say, "Okay, TV, raise my kid."
Yeah,
go out. You remember how it was when we were young. You came home from school, did your homework, and you were out until that street light came on. Rule, passion, faith, tradition. Oh, so I'm sorry. Unite humanity with a living new language. Suggested replacing existing language with one universal language. And I know all the arguments on this.
But in a way, we've done that with.
We've already done that.
Our phones go and translate.
Not even just AI.
So your phones that will translate.
Well, when we got into the computer age, started back in the late 40s, early 50s, every country on this planet programs in the same language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yep.
So okay, and that language, ones and zeros, regulates AI.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't have a problem with that at all. And math is a universal language. So okay. Also, a throat punch in any language is effective. Rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Urge moderation and rational thought over blind belief. Okay, I mean,
amen.
Right?
That's number one. Okay.
People and nations with fair laws and just courts. What's wrong with that? Unless you're an oligarch or a fascist,
Yeah.
Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. We got the UN. It kind of doesn't really have teeth, but it's a start. Avoid petty laws and useless officials.
I'm for that. Why is this controversial? I mean, seriously.
I lived in a town in Alabama where it was illegal to back out of a parking spot. Okay.
Well, how do you get out then?
Well, you're supposed to. I'm sorry. It's illegal to back into a parking spot.
Okay.
You're backing into a parking spot. Okay, whatever. Stupid.
Still.
Petty laws.
Yes.
Petty laws. Balance personal rights with social duties. Suggested attention between individual freedoms and the collective good. Well, that's a conversation that's been going on in this country for 250-something years.
Yep.
You got to figure, you got people that, okay, my rights begin where yours end. And it's a gray area. You have to kind of find a good balance there. That's all I'm saying. That's just my opinion. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. And that's, I guess, if you are a spiritual person, do your thing. You're not hurting anybody.
Spirituality, to me, I think has been given a bad rub because of religion. But in some ways, exploring things that are like out of, not traditional thinking or whatever, to me, that's spiritual. Even meditation is spiritual. Sam Harris.
Yeah. Seeking harmony with the infinite.
Yeah.
When you read the Declaration of Independence, where it says all men are created equal, blah, blah, blah. It says according to, it doesn't say according to the creator. It says according to their creator.
Yep.
That's a whole different ball of wax there, you know.
There was a study, I was watching it. There's this guy on YouTube that I really like, Diaries of a CEO. I don't know if you've ever watched him. And he has really interesting people on. And so I think it was yesterday or the day before I was listening to it, getting ready for work. And he had a doctor on who found so many people, if they got sunlight, how much healthier they and it's sunlight is processed different from just taking like vitamin D.
Sure, yeah.
And he said that when COVID was going on, the people that had sunlight healed so much faster. And they even noticed that people that, like if you're in a hospital, ask for the one by the window, the bed. That's what he was saying. And they also measured that it actually increased if people had some kind of sense of spirituality or philosophy, basically a mission or a reason to be.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you know, look, spirituality, philosophy, metaphysics. I mean, you know, a lot of people look upon those aspects of our existence as foolish, you know, or as something, you know, but it doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what, you know, as long as you don't hurt somebody else with it.
Exactly.
You know? It doesn't matter to me.
And I loved the last one.
Oh, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Yes, environmental stewardship. And repeated the phrase for effect. You know, it reminds me, the town that I lived in Panama was called Boquete. It was a little pueblo in the mountains on the eastern part of the state bordering Costa Rica. And it had such character to it. Half of the buildings were a couple of 100 years old. It was an old way of life. The native people that lived there, the Panamanians and the indigenous, pretty much kept that place the same way for I don't know how many generations. And after Americans ruined Costa Rica, we went over to Panama and started doing the same thing. And within a space of one generation, all the locals were drove out because they can't afford to live there anymore. And they're tearing down these beautiful multicolored buildings and putting up, you know, steel and glass shopping centers and hotels and whatnot. And just that's whoever had the stewardship for that town just blew it. And I see that a lot in Central and South America, wherever we go. We go.
So that was it. Yeah. It was a real shame that. But that was the biggest conspiracy theory I heard was it's the New World Order, whatever the hell that is.
Well, that's been going on for
I know, but that's what people always said about this.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bo.
Do we know when these guide stones were destroyed? Do we know if the person or persons who did it were caught and...
No, they never were.
It was like 2022, I think.
It was 2022. The security cameras that were in the area didn't catch anything clear enough to make any kind of identification. So as far as I know, I mean, I'll double check now, but last time I looked at it about a year ago, there was no one got...
Now this is only a portion of what was on those stones, correct?
Yeah.
Some of it's written in Russian, and then what is the other language? I don't remember the three language. It's in 3 languages. This is just the English portion.
I think this is really, really interesting.
To me, it makes common sense.
It does to me too. It absolutely does to me too.
They've not been identified. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation released surveillance footage of the explosion in a vehicle of interest leaving the scene, but no further leads have been publicly released.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's our next slide.
That story, I know we spent quite a bit of time on it, but in Georgia, that's a big deal. Those guide stones are a big deal here. And when they got destroyed, it divided the whole state. And it's still causing problems. So anyway, a state still in motion. Today, Georgia continues to grow rapidly and change politically, culturally, and economically. Its role in flipping the U.S. Senate in 2021 brought it to the national spotlight. Despite enduring legacies of inequality and strange folklore, Georgia remains a dynamic mix of deep South tradition and modern global influence, from small towns with ghost stories to Atlanta's high-tech skyscrapers and booming film sets. It's a place where old and new collide, often delightfully in unexpected ways. And the picture you see there is the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway in Blue Ridge, Georgia. One of my favorite places in the state. It's just beautiful up there.
It's beautiful.
It is. Georgia, come for the peaches. Stay for the poltergeists. Or I should try to or stay for the poltergeists. Did it echo? Did my echo work?
Yes, it was
Hi,
good.
Brighton.
Here's Brighton, so you can say hi.
Can you
Can
hear
you
me?
hear us?
Yay!
My mic
Yes.
We can hear you too. Yeah, you
I'm
sound
jealous of
good.
your hair, man.
He's so for our audience, he's Brighton, our phone guy. So if you guys want to call in at 92, if I can remember what the phone number is, 928-288-2942. So at some point we'll start getting phone calls.
Yeah.
So but he's learning right now. He's helping. We're not going to do a show next weekend because we're going to do our rural filming, L. So
Yeah.
we're going
Yeah.
out to Winslow to do that. And kind of our sidekick here, for those not familiar, we're going to have, I'm setting up like just rural stories and a directory and things for small towns, rural areas.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of charm in those
Yeah.
those areas. So, but anyway, can't be two places at once. So I'll be filming next week and not here.
And I'll be out making.
So-
I'll be out in the small towns here in Georgia, just getting some B-roll for you.
Excellent. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. All
Right.
right. Well, you ready for our paranormal end of things?
Hit it.
But Brighton's a real trooper, so we've got him a new laptop, and he's fixing up that big, the sound thing, and he's figured it out, so he's doing really good.
Cool.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Yep, and so we can hear you too, so that's nice. All right.
I'm glad.
A journey through. Oh, that looks familiar. A journey through ghosts, monsters, UFOs, and strange disappearances. That looks like an AMC job.
That's supposed to be and it's supposed to be a peanut farm.
Okay.
Deborah's
That's
art
strange.
at 2:00 in the morning. Yes.
Surrency. I think next time I go through there, I'm going to take some video for you guys. Poltergeist
Yeah.
activity plagued the family in Southeast Georgia, witnessed by locals and printed in newspapers of the time. Deborah's thoughts on the infamous image? Pareidolia. So you didn't think I was going to get that, did you, Deb? Pareidolia is when your brain sees familiar shapes like faces and things like clouds or shadows, which can make natural sights seem ghostly. Similar idea called apophenia happens when people find meaning or patterns in random things, sometimes leading them to think they've had a supernatural experience. Yeah.
Now, the things that happened at this place, from what I read in these newspaper accounts, that was not any of these symptoms, but this picture from 1905 that supposedly, like, you're supposed to be like a head floating in there and whatever. I mean, I sat there for like 1 this morning just staring at this image, and I couldn't find any of it. I'm like,
I see the head.
People see.
I see it.
Oh, you do?
I
Where?
see two of them. It's like a mother and a child. Okay, see the left-hand branch, the big one, the trunk on the left side?
Yeah.
Follow that up until it comes to the chimney, right? The very top of the chimney looks like a woman's head with her hair parted in the middle, and right below her there's a branch that separates them. Looks like it could be a little baby.
Well,
And
I'm
you
glad
can't-
you see it, because I don't.
Yeah, it's clear as day. It's clear as day. It's
Well-
just it is a figment. It's apophenia,
That's
You
like
know?
parabolia.
Well, so on the Cosmic Fold YouTube page, I have a bigger image of this in the
Yeah,
posts and community section, so you can
yeah,
look at it, and then I'll probably put it on
yeah,
the website so people can see it. So I pulled this out of a newspaper from
yeah.
1913, I think. So, but it's quite the story. It's
Yeah.
fascinating.
I mean, it's. I see stuff like that all the time, and I'm like, I know what it is. I know it's not. I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing, but I find it really cool. Your favorite local haunt since 1999, the Moon River Brewing Company in Savannah. Been there, not actually to that, but I've seen it. I've driven by it.
Oh, okay.
Disembodied voices, poltergeists. If I'd known, I'd have stopped in. Poltergeist activity and shadow figures are reported at one of Savannah's favorite establishments. The Moon River Brewing Company is located in one of Savannah's oldest and most haunted buildings. Originally built in 1821 as the City Hotel. Over the years, it served as Savannah's first hotel, post office, bank, and even housed a live lion to attract visitors. After decades of varied use, including as a warehouse and art supply store, the building was transformed into a brew pub in 1999, blending rich history with handcrafted beer and Southern hospitality.
See, I think I was there because I was in Atlanta. Wait, no, that's Savannah, so it's
This is
not.
Savannah, yeah.
I was in Atlanta in the 1980s for the National Court Reporters Convention,
Uh-huh.
and at that time they had all the police were on strike, so there were like all these big billboards everywhere, like come into this city at your own risk, and apparently people
Yeah.
were getting killed. But we went there anyway. Went to Pity Pat's porch. Is that still open? That was kind of interesting. Went
It
to
could be
underground. It went to underground Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
then went to some disco bar, and it was crazy. It had a glass dance floor, and so
Mm.
you're dancing, and there were live lions walking around underneath the glass, and so they would like change it to like these different things. So when we were there, it was the lions. And the people that worked there said, "Oh yeah, sometimes we turn it into like an aquarium, and they had fish like all over. It was the craziest place, So if you've had a few cold ones and you're dancing and you see this stuff, that it was wild. It was wild.
Wow. I'm not
So
familiar with that place. I'm familiar
yeah,
with Atlanta Underground. Day and I have been through there.
yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately, in Atlanta, crime is a problem here.
oh yeah,
There are murders every day, at least one, sometimes multiple, and nonviolent crimes like car break-ins and robbery and
hmm
burglaries are just through the roof. And it's really sad because it's a beautiful city. It's just half of it is broken, fallen down. The other half is out of the reach of almost everybody financially. The inequality in income is it's legendary,
it's
and
disgusting.
the crime, and it ain't race. I mean, I'm sure some of it is, but it's poverty. Poverty breeds
Yeah,
crime. I don't care what color you are.
yep,
Poverty breeds crime, and the more the rich get richer here in Atlanta, and the poor get poorer, the higher the crime rate goes.
oh yeah,
Even the area that I live in, which is supposed to be a nicer area, is still at least once a week. The cops are here in my townhouse development. It's sad. It's just sad. It really is. Because
it is.
it is a beautiful city.
I remember how gorgeous it was when I was there.
Yeah, it's and there's so much history here. The whole city is built on top of another city. Terminus was the
Yep.
original name of Atlanta, and Atlanta Underground is kind of sort of what's left of it, except the Gulch. And the Gulch is a huge area where right now it's just storage for trains and trucks and whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's a city on top of a city, and it's just being ruined. But anyway, the Windsor Hotel in Americus. Yeah, Americus is down towards Columbus, I think. I've never been to Americus. I've heard of it. It's an historic hotel. It's allegedly haunted by a maid and a young girl, built in 1892 with 100 rooms and a grand 3-story atrium. The Windsor closed in the 1970s, but has since reopened with 53 guest rooms. In 1928, Franklin Delano Roosevelt gave a speech here before becoming governor of New York. The hotel is said to be haunted by the spirit of a young girl believed to be the daughter of a housekeeper Both were allegedly pushed down an elevator shaft in the early 1900s. According to Georgia Haunted Houses, guests have reported feeling the girl's presence, especially on the third floor, along with eerie sounds of a woman's voice and a crying baby. And yes, there is a website called GeorgiaHauntedHouses.com. You really should check it out. It's fantastic. I looked at it earlier.
Cool. This
Sorrel
place
Weed
looks
House.
interesting.
Yeah. This is in a historic area that Day and I have made. I don't remember seeing this house, but we've been in this neighborhood several times delivering like really expensive Italian tile. Paranormal reports include residual hauntings, shadow figures, documented EVP sessions. It's built in the 1830 by the architect Charles Kleske for wealthy French Haitian merchant Francois Sorel. The Sorel Weed House quickly became one of Savannah's most admired mansions, I bet. It was known for its lavish parties and prominent guests, including General Robert E. Lee. For whatever reason, it's still famous down here. The mansion made history as the first in Georgia to be designated a state landmark, admired for both its architecture and its place in Southern history. Behind the grandeur lies a dark past. In the late 1800s, 2 tragic deaths took place under mysterious circumstances. Matilda Sorel, heartbroken after discovering her husband's affair with an enslaved woman named Molly, reportedly jumped from a bedroom balcony to her death. Not long after, Molly was found hanged in the carriage house. While it was officially ruled self-inflicted, some believe Molly may have been silenced by someone in the Sorel household. Visitors and paranormal investigators alike report shadowy figures in the windows, unexplained voices, and sightings of the lady in white in the parlor. Even the ghost of high society ladies are said to linger, clearly unimpressed by modern-day tours. Featured on the Ghost Hunters and If Walls Could Talk, the Sorrel Weed House offers history tours by day and ghost tours by night. I'll have to check that out next time I'm down that way.
Yeah, I was looking at their website, and the interior looks really it looks really interesting. I love old architectural places like that. Doesn't matter if they're haunted or not. I just like looking at them. They're cool.
There are whole areas in Metro Atlanta that weren't burned down way back when. And a lot of the houses are 150, 200 years old. And so, a good portion of them are in disrepair. But in the process of gentrifying, a lot of investors have they restored them. They didn't tear them down and put up, glass and brick and steel. They restored them, and some of the houses are just, the Victorian homes here just blow your mind. You just stand and look at them like, wow. Former Civil War.
You know how a certain book just like influences you? Like the first book you read as a kid that just really, for me, it was Andersonville. I read it in 3rd grade. And it was so upsetting to me. And I just thought about it for years. I still think about it. How, and it just made me so aware of man's inhumanity to man, basically.
Oh, gosh,
I mean, that place is just horrible.
Yeah, there are historic markers everywhere in the Atlanta area with stories about, here there were 30 people were killed or 20 people were hanged in the basement. It's historic. There's always reminders of how terrible we can be. It's a Civil War prison, and it's still haunted by phantom soldiers. The Andersonville prison, located in Georgia, obviously, was the largest and deadliest Confederate prisoner of war camp during the Civil War and operated for just 14 months, but they were brutal. Nearly 13,000 Union soldiers died there from starvation, disease, and exposure. After the war, Nurse Clara Barton visited the site to help identify the dead and notify families, and the location is now preserved. It's a National Historic Site. Captain Henry Weirs, prison's commander, was arrested, tried, and ultimately hanged for war crimes, becoming the only Confederate executed for such charges. Some said he was just a man with no supplies. Others saw him as a monster. Either way, it's what happened next that still chills visitors today. According to legend, Captain Weirs never really left. His ghost has been seen pacing the road to the prison and wandering the ruins, full of rage and regret, but he's not alone. Visitors have heard phantom moans, cries of pain, and the sounds of desperate men moving within the long-gone stockade. Some have even reported encounters with the spirits of former inmates, like notorious camp raiders, still haunt the grounds. And then there's the smell, an overwhelming stench of decay that lingers near the cemetery, unexplained by park rangers Andersonville may be a historic site by day, but after dark, it feels like something else entirely.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
just creepy.
I
That
think I would be
is,
so rigged out there. It's like,
Yeah.
what a horrible, horrible place.
It's
yeah.
like being in
So,
Auschwitz, going to the
Yes.
camps.
Yeah.
If you ever had a
Yeah.
chance to be there, and Day has discussed this before, to where she's empathic, and she goes to places like this. It hits her different, and we
Yes.
got to go. We just got to go. It's just one of those things that is very, very unbearable.
Yep.
So, underground Atlanta, right off the MARTA. The Metro Area Rapid Transit Authority. Modern Atlanta was built on top of the old city. After the streets were raised above the bustling railroad system, beneath the viaducts, entire blocks of 19th century storefronts and sidewalks still exist, creating a forgotten underground city where ghost stories and urban legends thrive. I have to tell you, some of the coolest stuff I've seen in Georgia has been underneath Atlanta. It's just wild.
Have you seen like these old gas lights, like that
Yeah,
picture? Or
I've been all over
wow.
there. It's just, you go to pick up at a load over at the World Congress Center. You're waiting 7, 8, 9 hours to get loaded. You're just gonna,
Wow.
So what do you do? And it's right by the Gulch, so you tour and you look around.
Yeah.
You go downstairs. You go down tunnels. I mean, it's just. There's a gas lamp there located in the underground, which, yes, Day and I have both seen that lamp. It was one of 50 erected by the Atlanta Gaslight Company in 1856. It was shelled by Union artillery prior to the Battle of Atlanta of the American Civil War. Solomon Sam Lucky, one of 40 free blacks in Atlanta, was leaning against this lamppost, talking with a group of white businessmen when a cannon shell wounded him. The businessmen carried him to the local surgeon where he died from his wounds. And Sam had owned the barber and bath salon in the nearby Atlanta hotel. Lucky Street was named for him. The gas lamp was relighted during the premiere of Gone with the Wind in 1939, and there are 2 bronze plaques mounted on it. Simultaneously commemorate Solomon Sam Lucky, the Confederacy, the Battle of East Atlanta, one of the local men who fought in that battle, February 2014, by Tony the Marine. Obviously, it's licensing, Creative Commons, and all that. But yeah, underground Atlanta is a touristy spot, and it is cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool, but it's just a fraction of what's underneath Atlanta.
Exactly.
And one day, if I ever get the cojones and a good walking stick, I'm going to see if I can get some recording, some film.
That would be cool.
Video.
That would be cool.
It's just,
that would be cool.
it's fantastic. It's just wow. You're walking in a tunnel, that used to be a train, an above ground train track, but now it's underground, and you're just walking, and it's train tracks, and there's some trash laying around, and then you go around a bend, and there's like storefronts that haven't been open in like 100 years. Lampposts, a couple of cars down. It's just phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Atlanta has
That kind of stuff is so cool. I just love it.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Ghosts and Prohibition era spirits. Paranormal teams report everything from cold spots to disembodied voices and shadowy figures in underground Atlanta. During Prohibition, hidden tunnels were allegedly, they were definitely used by bootleggers, many of which are still sealed off today and have been opened by urban explorers. A lot of the contents are unknown. On Instagram, Underground Atlanta writes, Kenny's Alley, one of the most historic sections of Underground Atlanta, is said to be particularly active with paranormal energy. Visitors have reported feeling watched and experiencing sudden emotional changes while walking through this area. Some psychics who have visited the location claim it preserves a portal or gathering place for various spirits.
I've heard that it's a portal. I've seen that several times, even on different like ghost hunting things. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I guess
that-
so. I mean,
That picture
you've
AI?
got like 2 eras. Huh?
That picture is AI, right? Because that looks a lot
Yes.
like what Kenny's Alley looks like.
Yep.
Then again,
it's
now,
AI.
It's just fascinating. Atlanta's just a fascinating. I hate to see it crumble. UFOs and UAPs, the 1973 UFO wave. The Macon Telegraph, May 7th, 2019, writes, the headline read, UFOs lit up Georgia skies in the 1970s as Macon firemen chased flashing orbs. Do you believe? It recaps several strange sightings. September 1973, Roy Lawhorn, a farmer near Griffin, it's an Atlanta suburb actually, saw a glowing gold object as big as your head hovering near his house. He heard a buzzing sound like locusts and fired several rifle shots, as one does in the South, before the object vanished into the ground. I don't know what it is. Shoot it!
That's what I thought. I was cracking up reading that. I was like,
oh my gosh. His 5-year-old daughter witnessed it. In October 1973, Fitzgerald, a strange light bigger than any star, moved through the sky. Ralph Smith, a Piggly Wiggly employee, yes, we still have Piggly Wigglies.
yep. That's so funny.
Watched it fade out using a borrowed telescope. In August 1974, police and school security in southwest Macon reported a colorful winged object, no tail, unlike a plane. It hovered near Agnes Barden School, dipped below the trees, and rose and shot off. One officer radio in, I haven't been drinking. I see something in the sky.
And what they didn't put in there was the other officer said, shoot it.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Right? You couldn't hardly ever see any drones in rural Georgia.
Yeah, they
They
shoot
get
them.
shot down.
Taken out.
Uh,
Here's from your site, Al.
Enigma
It looks like
Labs.
the sightings are coming up.
This site is so freaking awesome. I've spent hours and hours on it, and I think I've only cracked about 1/10 of it. Here's Enigma users. This is a little blurry, so I'm going to have to get a little close. Enigma users submitted 647 sightings in Georgia, combined with publicly available sources. We have 5,173 total sightings in Georgia. Cities with the most sightings in the region within a 5,000-meter radius is Savannah. Savannah's very old. It's very, very old. Marietta, where I lived for 3 years. Lawrenceville, which is northeast Atlanta. Augusta, which is down by Alabama, down southeast. And Cumming, which is north, about an hour north of me. A lot of this is centered in areas you would expect, right? Savannah, it figures. Like I said, Savannah's a very old city, and it's got a lot of history, and there's a lot of history of violence there, particularly amongst the native, the First Nation people.
What this is, Bove, in case you're not familiar, Al told me about this app. And at first it was just on Apple products, but now you can get it on your Android also and on the computer. Yeah. And it's called enigmalabs.io. And so people, they can take like pictures, videos of what they think might be UFOs or UAPs. And then they analyze it for accuracy. And then they've got like this count. But we've been going through this since you can now access it, beyond just iPhones. I've been putting it into these paranormal highways. And it's real interesting because remember when all the drones are buzzing around in November and December? So it was spiking up with all these people making reportings, and then it crashes down after they got bored with it. But what I noticed about Georgia, which is different from what we've been seeing, Arizona is like this too, I think. It's spiking up again in Georgia. Yeah. So something's going on out there.
People are starting to look up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you tell an entire nation, hey, there's drones up there. We don't know what they are. More people are going to be looking at the sky, and the more people that are looking at the sky, the more things that are going to be reported. But this site has videos and stuff on it. It's really cool. You should really check it out. Enigma Labs.io, available on iPhone and Play Store.
Yep, and the internet.
There's no desktop.
Website. Yeah, there's a desktop.
Yeah, there's a desktop. Cryptids and critters. The Altamaha.
I had to put in one hard word for you to try to pronounce it. I was going to call it Alti.
The Altamaha, often called the Alti, is a legendary creature said to live in the Altamaha River, in southern Georgia. Stories about Alti go back to the Tama people. You got me on 4 letters. Long before British colonists arrived, witnesses describe it as having a body like a sturgeon. By the way, if you ever are diving, not even deep sea, but if you're in a lake or something, and you come across a sturgeon, I guarantee it will scare the living shit out of you. They are monsters, huge and ugly, and they're aggressive. Anyway, witnesses describe it. Yeah, I've run into a couple of those. No, I don't. I won't go into. I don't go in the whole water anymore. I don't go in the ocean. I don't go in lakes. I don't go in rivers. I don't go in the water. I'll go in a pool. I'll go in a bathtub. I'll go in the shower. Not going in the shark's house.
Most people are peeing in the pool. I won't go to pool either. I'm afraid people are peeing in it.
Now they have tattletale. Now they have tattletale chlorine for your pool.
Oh, they do. So
They do?
Yes. So if you piddle, it turns green around you.
Oh,
it turns green just like LT.
that's an invention that's more important than the zipper. Anyway, witnesses describe having a body like a sturgeon with bony ridges on its back, flippers in the front, no back limbs. It swims like a dolphin, has a crocodile snout, Its color is usually described as gray with a pale yellow belly, although some say it's green to help it blend with the river. Either way, it's scary and ugly, and if I never saw one again, I'd die a happy man. No physical evidence has ever been found, but some wonder if Alti is an undiscovered type of freshwater seal. That ain't no damn seal.
But it is AI, so who knows?
Mm.
Okay, now Georgia is one of the few that there's actually like evidence of stuff. So
Oh, the Hogzilla monster! I remember Hogzilla! Oh my god! Yeah, giant hog hybrid weighing 1,000 pounds. Oh my gosh! Everyone thought it was a hoax, but it wasn't. It's just a giant pig, but a giant pig.
The expression on your face.
Oh my
priceless. Oh my god.
It was because we're like, no way. Then the picture showed up, and then people said, it's fake. But then they sent people out, and no, sure as hell.
Yeah, it was on
biohazard suits. Yeah, they exhumed it, and it was probably 7.5 to 8 feet long, weighed about 800 pounds. The confirmation came in a documentary aired on the National Geographic Channel. There are some giant hogs here. It's not uncommon. We're in a lot of rural areas. We do a lot of deliveries to farms and stuff, and we've seen some 500-600 pound pigs. They're just enormous. But this, I can't even imagine the amount of bacon you can get off of this.
I wouldn't want to try.
But yeah, it's like, we see so many of these cryptid stories, and it's like, wow, they actually have a picture of one that's like on real news.
Oh, no.
It's like,
Hogzilla was a celebrity out here, man. Georgia's Bigfoot, of course. You got to have Bigfoot. Sometimes called the Georgia skunk ape, was allegedly caught on camera in December 2021. WBZ Radio 1030 reported every year there are thousands of reported sightings of Bigfoot in North America. While most take place in the Pacific Northwest, that's not the only area where a Sasquatch has been spotted. In fact, someone recently filmed what they claim is a mysterious creature in the woods of Georgia. The video, which was shared by Cryptid University Instagram account, shows shaky footage, of course, of what appears to be a large ape-like animal with black fur bending over behind some trees in the distance. Could be heard saying, "Please leave me alone while I take a dump." When the creature fully stands, it looks taller and bigger than a human. It then walks off as the person filming hides behind a tree. Yeah.
So this really had me going until I looked at the little fuzzy language underneath their picture. It says Getty Images. So it's like, no, this is not the real picture of whatever. Now, if I remember right, this one might be just for both, but I'm not sure if I... Yes, it's just for both.
Man. There's...
I've suspected it for years now.
No, you ain't heard nothing yet, Bo. We'll go through this. The Doll's Head Trail in Atlanta, located in Constitution Lakes Park. The Doll's Head Trail is a strange and unsettling outdoor art exhibit tucked away in the woods of southeast Atlanta. The trail began when a local resident cleaning up trash discovered an unusual number of broken toys, particularly doll parts, scattered throughout the area. So instead of discarding them, he began assembling the fragments into eerie art pieces and placing them along the trail. Over time, visitors added their own creations, turning the path into a collaborative installation of creepy, discarded memories. Today, it is one of Atlanta's most bizarre attractions. Free to visit, close to the city, and definitely not your typical hiking experience. To find it, follow the paved road from the parking lot at 1305 South River Industrial Boulevard Southeast, which is 8 or 9 blocks northeast of me. When the trail reaches,
when you've arrived.
you'll know when you arrive. Okay, I got to tell you, there was a guy living in the country out here who had an installation on the front of his property called Barbie Beach.
Oh God!
And he had sand, right? He just brought in, I don't know, a couple tons of sand, put it down. And there were hundreds of Barbie dolls in various states of repair and disrepair. With whole scenes, surfboards. It was, and it was.
Did he put Christmas lights on them during the holidays? Or?
Everything. Look up Beach Barbie in Georgia. You'll see all the stuff. The man
But
died.
at least, these are benign ones. They're not haunted. They're just art.
Yeah.
Barbie, I can laugh at this shit now.
Well, I thought it was kind of funny with an old beer can next to
Oh my God.
that site I have
Yeah.
there. They have all kinds of pictures.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
DeKalb County. All right, what we got here? Thanks for riding the Georgia Paranormal Highway. Until next time, keep your headlights on and your EMF meter handy.
Oh, that came out good, Al.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, you guys did good. This was fun. This is a good one.
Yeah.
We have
What's-
Hawaii next.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, there must be some cool
there must be.
stuff in Hawaii.
I've
I
never
bet.
been.
I
to Hawaii.
bet.
I've never been to Hawaii.
Oh, I have. It's I've been on the Big Island and then to Kauai, and that's where the song about Puff the Magic Dragon lives by the
Yeah.
sea, and the golden. It is golden. The beach is golden. It's like the sand is gold. and you
Hawaii?
just- yeah,
Oh, I
on
thought it was
Kauai,
like
one of the little
casting
islands.
trip or something.
Oh.
No, it's Kauai. It's beautiful there, but
So as you go along alphabetically, at what point do you get to New Jersey? Under J for Jersey or N for New Jersey?
and for new.
And for New
Damn
Jersey.
it. Damn it.
It's okay. New York comes after that.
Yeah, I know.
And boy, we need to do New York. We need to do New York in 2 shows. It's just like
Yeah.
we did with Florida, because I grew up there. I was born and raised in New York City, and I have just a ton of stories about haunted places and just weird stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Well, and with such a high population and how old it is, New Jersey and New York, I would think that they're both.
They
Have
do.
a
They
lot of
believe
There are
stories.
entire neighborhoods on the southern tip and east side of New York City that I don't mean just a block, like entire neighborhoods that are all connected by underground tunnels.
Well,
And some weird
what-
stuff
wow.
going on.
Manhattan Island?
Manhattan
Long
Island, yeah. You got Collect Pond, which was a freshwater lake that they built tanneries around, and then they just destroyed the lake, and then they covered it in dirt and built part of New York City on top of it called Old 5 Points. But of course, it wasn't on solid ground, so the ground started to sink, and all the houses started to.
Right.
If you want a good idea about the tunnels underneath New York, watch Gangs of New York with Daniel. I think it was Daniel Day-Lewis was in that. The Gangs of New York. It's a movie. Came out about 15 years ago, and a lot of it's fiction, but a lot of it's not. Tammany Hall, Tippecanoe, and the gangs that ruled Five Points area and all the tunnels that are under it, and it's a fantastic piece of history. Yeah, there was a lot going on there. So,
Well, Brighton, do you have any thoughts for us?
Not really. I don't know.
Because I just think you guys are weird.
I like both.
No. He likes
like
your
your echo.
headphones, Paul.
I can turn my echo up too.
Yeah, you've got it pretty echoey, Brighton. You
Yeah,
guys
that's cool, though.
do an echo thing. Well,
I'm not
that's
sure.
the show then. For
Underground Atlanta. Sorry.
do an echo, Brighton, to do it back.
Echo. I don't know. Is it
There
working?
you go. So, anyhow, I want to thank you all for joining. And this was fun tonight. The hour goes by awfully fast.
It
It
does.
does.
And Brighton, if you want to just put the equipment in my office, and I'll pick it up in a little bit and take your computer and have fun. And we'll be filming next weekend, but on Wednesday, in honor of Bove coming back with us, we're doing a show on haunted dolls. I have found some really weird stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, tell Day hello, and to everybody that joined us either live or coming in later. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you a week from from Saturday.
Later.
Yeah.
Later.
Yes, later. All right. Thank you all.
Have a good
Peace out.
night. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for joining us. We love hearing your stories, so tell your friends so they can join the party. For show notes and our forum of high strangeness, visit cosmicfold.com. Remember, Cosmic Fold airs live on Wednesday and Saturday nights, so be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to know when we're on air. Thanks again and have a great evening.